Before we begin, I want to say that after this video goes up, I'll be taking a short break for a week. And now back to the show. What's up, guys? It's Tommy, and welcome back to my house of vlogs. So, I'm finally doing a video talking about a video game. And today, that video game is none other than Kombat! This famed game franchise is known by many people for many things. You may know it for the exceptionally gruesome gore, the sexiness, the identity crisis, or maybe you know about it for something else. However, what I bet you don't know it for is the many different cultures in the franchise, and especially how it portrays said cultures, be it to praise or criticize it. And that's what I want to talk about. But before I start doing that, I want to make three things clear. One, this video is just my opinion. If you disagree, please feel free to speak your voice. Two, much like that Spider-Man Greek mythology video, this is meant to start a conversation. So if you see any other cultures in the NK franchise, please shout it out in the comments. Three, I'm going to give a quick recap of the main story to the best of my abilities, but I'm not as familiar with the MK story as I want to be, so if I get anything wrong, I ask all the MK fans watching this to please correct me. Anyway, here's how I know it. Mortal Kombat is a story with many different worlds, one of which is named Outworld, ruled by Shao Kahn, a realm-conquering tyrant who now seeks to rule Earth, commonly referred to as Earth Realm. However, the people who rule the universe, known as the Elder Gods, wanted to keep things civil, so they made a series of 10 tournaments known as Mortal Kombat. If Shao Kahn wins the last one, he can invade Earthrealm. With that being said, here is Mortal Kombat, the ultimate multicultural experience. Let's start with the realm that, believe it or not, actually inspired this video, Outworld. If you're not familiar with the story, Outworld is the home realm of many of Mortal Kombat's most iconic villains, such as Shang Tsung, Mileena, and the aforementioned Shao Kahn. But what you may or may not know about the latter is that Shao Kahn was actually inspired by a real person, and Outworld possibly on a real empire. He specifically was inspired by the Mongol warlords. Most prevalent is Genghis. And for those who don't know, the Mongols were terrifying conquerors who, much like Shao Kahn, took land and killed people. Plus, the fact that Shao Kahn is humanoid but still a monster pretty much summarizes how people like Genghis Khan were seen, as people who were these terrifying monsters that only looked human. In fact, if you look at a lot of illustrations of both Outworld and the Mongol Empire side by side, they actually look quite similar. Not just that, but also like those dictators, we don't know much about Shao Kahn's life. We don't know what led him to be the terrifying villain he is. We just know that he's a scary guy that people both fear and hate, unless you're one of the people ruling under him.
Only I can rebuild the Empire. All realms will tremble before me. Outworld will again be conquerors, never the conquered!
But that's not the only culture that gets shown in Mortal Kombat. There's even some Hollywood culture in the franchise, specifically in the character of Johnny Cage. For those who don't know, Johnny Cage is an actor who joined the Mortal Kombat tournament thinking it was for a movie.
You fought well. Thanks. Nice hat.
You should be more respectful of Lord Raiden. He is the protector of Earthrealm, the god of thunder.
Look, I don't know what kind of role-playing you guys are into, but count me out.
This tournament is more than a chance for personal glory. We are fighting for the very survival of Earthrealm.
What are you talking about?
However, the creators of the series openly said that Johnny was inspired by a real-life actor known as Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, if you want to know how misunderstood he is, I truly recommend checking out True Underdog's video. But in Johnny, we see portrayed an image of Hollywood. Prior to Mortal Kombat X, Johnny is arrogant, flashy. He thinks everything is fake except for his power. And he's also very reckless. If you want any confirmation of that, just look at this conversation between him and his future self in the latest game, Mortal Kombat 11.
Untwist your panties, older me. I'm a star. This is a military operation, not a movie set. I'm only the best fighter here, but your daughter's got me sitting at the kids' table. Our daughter is CEO. A little humility might earn her respect. Dad always said, hungry people eat lunch, humble people serve it. Dad was an asshole. Hollywood made us an even bigger one.
Essentially, everything bad about young Johnny can also be said about Hollywood. You see interviews with lots of actors where they act very confidently. You see their social media posts where they pretty much shove their opinions down their fans' throats. But what you don't know for sure is what they're actually like. Yes, this stuff is a great way for celebrities to connect with their fans and vice versa, but that's only a small window into their lives.
Hey guys, Editing Phase Tommy here, and admittingly, not everything about Johnny is bad. Like for instance, one of his biggest strengths is that he has an eye for talent. For instance, in Mortal Kombat 9, when he beat Baraka, he won, but he's still impressed with his skill and blades that he invites him to do a movie with him.
Man, I love those blades. My producer has got to meet you. We're doing Tommy Scissorfists, and...
Congratulations, Mr. Cage.
Now, whether or not you think this is in character for him is another discussion entirely, but this represents one of the strengths of Hollywood, and that is those few people that find people who are not as well known as they should be and lifting them up. For instance, shout out to Marvel, who are taking once indie directors like Taika Waititi and making them popular, giving them the ability to work on projects. Anyway, back to the video. Continue what you were saying, Past Tommy.
Moving on to the Shaolin, who aren't really a culture as much as they are a religion. Specifically, the Shaolin monks were inspired by the Mahayana Buddhists. I hope I'm not butchering that. Who, according to Google, believe that every person is responsible for their own fate, and that choosing the right path will lead humans to redemption. This is something you commonly see in the character of Liu Kang, who tends to see the best in people, as evident by how many times he's fought Raiden to defend someone who is typically a villain on the basis of they're not the enemy this time.
This is the end, Shang Tsung. I will finish you!
Raiden, stop! Shang Tsung is not the enemy this time!
This is not the way. Scorpion is not the enemy this time.
Now let's look at costume designs. Probably one of the things that made this franchise so famous. Now, for this video, I chose arguably the most iconic character in the franchise, Scorpion. According to Screen Rant, Scorpion's costume, specifically in the new movie, was heavily inspired by the feudal Japanese ninja, who were essentially secret agents used in guerrilla warfare way back in feudal Japan. For those who don't know, feudal Japan was a time in Japanese history where the military had constant relationship with landowners. Well, that's all I got for now, guys. What cultures do you see in the Mortal Kombat franchise? How do you think they're portrayed? Would you want me to do another video like this? Will you like, share, and subscribe to the channel? If the answer to that last question is yes, then I'll see you guys next time. Bye!